Good evening, folks. Let's take a look at Doak Campbell Stadium. You see a bit of cloud cover, and that's because of the increased moisture we've seen the last couple of days that have brought in some muggier conditions just ahead of this frontal system. You do see that low pressure system. A lot of the main rain is staying farther inland, closer to Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and Louisiana. In Tallahassee, though, you do see we have a lot of cloud cover, as we saw on Doak Campbell Stadium's camera, and we do have some spotty showers that are out farther west over in Panama City, dying out as they go farther east. So our chance of showers is minimal tonight, but still possible nonetheless. And with that increased cloud cover and increased moisture, we do have patches of fog possibly developing tonight, getting down to 61 degrees, so warmer than we did get to tonight. So it is not the best conditions as that moisture increase. We'll talk about that patchy fog continuing. When we'll see the rain come into our forecast with that low pressure system, and a look at your weekend forecast and spoiler, it's pretty nice.
Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Chris Knoll.
And I'm student meteorologist Evan Thomason. It has been a great day today, especially, some people could say, especially temperature-wise, it's been the optimal day.
Yeah, it's been pretty warm. It felt really nice walking around outside, and I mean, it wasn't the most beautiful day with all those clouds everywhere.
It was still a good day to really put your park blanket out and go to any of the parks that are here around Tallahassee. Enjoy that.
Yeah, it was a good day. It was very comfortable conditions. You could get a lot of work if you went to study at Landis.
Especially, yeah. Those been very comfortable temperatures. Good news is that the clouds haven't brought much precipitation yet. We'll get into the menu story. Precipitation is on the way, though, in the near future.
There is some rain that's going to be coming on in a little bit later in the week.
Yeah. Timetable is around Thursday or so, but we'll get into that later on the show. Dylan will show that on the Southeast segment in just a minute. But we're looking at comfortable temperatures really until that cold front finally starts to make its way through.
Yeah, once that cold front moves in, we're going to start dropping a little bit down to, I believe, the 60s, actually.
For the highs. For the lows, we'll be dropping down maybe into the 30s. So it's going to be very interesting for that.
Yeah. But looking forward to those colder highs because of, if you are a fan of the show, you know that I love wearing my jeans.
That's good, especially exercise weather.
Yeah.
Exercise weather where it's nice and cool, so you're not sweating right when you're walking outside, starting your exercise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's big time.
I
was going to say, especially for Saturday when we have the FSU basketball game coming up against Syracuse, it'll be about the same temperature it is as last Saturday, so that'll be good.
What I was going to add was, with your exercising, was running in the 80s. It's not fun. But with a look at the Southeast, we're going to hand things off to Dylan at the wall.
Thank you very much, Chris Evans. And you really can see where this cold front is located. 78 in New Orleans, seeing cloudy conditions, and behind the frontal boundary, you see Jackson, Mississippi, 48 degrees. That's a 30-degree temperature change. You got some rain, even some possible mixed precipitation farther behind this front, but looking mostly like rain for this. And down into Florida, well, it's just miserable. 80 degrees. It does not feel like winter at this time of year. 80 in Tampa and 80 in Orlando. And if our producer Michael would be quiet, I could keep giving you this forecast, but he keeps interrupting me by speaking out on the wall. But you do see some interruption in those light activities that you see here in Tallahassee. You see 67 degrees, feeling a little more oppressive outside. Down into Miami, 70 as the dew point, but behind the frontal boundary, you got 45 in Jackson, 35 in Little Rock, seeing much more pleasant and drier conditions behind the boundary, but you do have to deal with that rain, so it's a give or take for them. And you do see on the winds for today, you do see that counterclockwise rotation of a low pressure system. Very evident that there is a front where you have these northerly winds kind of turning into those east or westerly winds, turning back into those southerly winds. You do see even a 9-mile-per-hour wind shift coming directly out of the south in New Orleans, really driving home that this boundary is over into the southeast, bringing rain mostly for the inland portions, not on the coastal regions, staying relatively dry. Few possible showers are coming, though. You do see some spotty ones over into Louisiana and parts of Mississippi as well, but it is a blanket of cloud cover engulfing all of Texas, all of Oklahoma, and the entirety of the southeast. So you're going to have to deal with clouds nonetheless if you don't get the precipitation. As we go see the next couple of hours, you see those clouds stick around. Stronger rain chances are farther west. You're going to see an increase in that severe weather potential into Dallas, Little Rock, and Shreveport tomorrow. And you do see that intense rain move farther eastward. You do see some mixed precipitation farther into Indiana and Louisiana. But for the southeast, they're seeing some strong storms possibly tomorrow. And you see this reflective on the severe weather outlook. Slight chance, which is a level 2 of 5 on the severe weather outlook. You have the possibility of tornadoes, strong winds, and damaging hail with this. Something to keep an eye out if you're in Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and Louisiana. Just something you want to be on the eye out. And even regions in the marginal, which is level 1 risk out of 5. Tonight, we get down cooler temperatures, but that front kind of inches eastward. You start to see the cooler temperatures creep into Montgomery, Atlanta, seeing some rain there. Some cooler conditions behind the front, 39 in Little Rock, but you do have to deal with the rain. Down into the part of Florida, well, we get down to 67, which is a relief from those 80s, but not the relief we're really looking for in the winter time. And then as we go into tomorrow's forecast, that front really builds up. It starts to intensify and start to kind of shift back westward a tad bit. You do see this nice line of temperature difference between Little Rock and New Orleans. You do see a stark contrast there. Rain chances picking up again tomorrow. Moving into the southeast where we have 87 degrees in Orlando. Will they see a relief? Well, we'll look at Zach Law, who has a local look to see how this front will impact our forecast.
Thanks, Dylan. So let's start by checking out our Doak Campbell cam. As always, we have a beautiful picture to look at the beginning of our locals. It's been cloudy all day today, and that's going to be the picture for the next few days as we do have that frontal system going to start moving through. So here's the big picture. We do have this low pressure system, and we got all the rain that comes with it in the frontal line, and that's going to be affecting our forecast later in the week into Thursday. But as for tonight into tomorrow, we can expect those cloudy conditions to persist, and clouds will dominate most of the region. So as you can see, not a lot of rain to speak of at the moment, but that's going to be changing over the next day or two, expecting rain to start moving in on Thursday, but those clouds are sticking around, and we can really see all that gray across our radar map showing that cloud cover in the area. But let's take a look at those temperatures. So 73, so still pretty warm for February right now, but it could be a little worse. We were expecting a high close to 80 for tomorrow, but it looks like it might start to back down a little bit, so maybe some upper 70s into tomorrow. But we're seeing those sunnier skies in Thomasville and Bainbridge, 77 up towards Bainbridge. But as for our dew points, it's starting to get a little uncomfortable out there. We're seeing 70 dew point in Quincy and 67 in Tallahassee, so a lot of that moisture is being driven in. So you're feeling a little more humid, not very comfortable conditions out there around the Tallahassee region as a result of the southerly flow coming in from the Gulf. So right here, we can see all those wind barbs pushing all that Gulf moisture up, and that moisture is going to be what's going to cause that chances of rain with that lift from this front that's coming through into Thursday. But as for the next couple of days, we're looking at our futurecast, and we can see going from Tuesday into tomorrow, late morning, early morning, late morning, we can see that cloud cover is going to persist. Maybe a few splashes more towards the north in southern Georgia around Thomasville and Bainbridge, but no rain yet, but that's going to be changing. And we can see that southerly flow really push that cloud cover and all that moisture up off the Gulf, and that's for tomorrow. So we might see a few splashes, but most of the rain event is going to be coming in on Thursday. But as for tonight, 61 degrees, cloudy conditions, and maybe some patchy fog waking up, and we're going to expect that sun to set at 6:22. So here in the next 10-15 minutes, we'll start to see those beautiful colors on that Doak Campbell Stadium cam if they can push through that cloud cover tonight. But as for tomorrow, high of 77, getting close to 80 degrees, and it's going to be quite breezy out there. Winds from the south at 11 miles per hour. And let's look at that 7-day. 77 is a high for tomorrow, pretty unusual for this time of year. And then 75 is a high on Tuesday. We're going to start to see a little bit of relief from that front, and we're going to see 61 as a high on Friday. But as for now, me and Dylan are going to talk about what went viral yesterday with the broom challenge.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that only yesterday you could stand a broom up by standing it up, And that's not the case. We're here to dispel the myths. It's definitely a hoax, folks.
And people on Twitter were saying that reports from NASA said that due to the tilt of the Earth, there were many different reasons, the latitude, the longitude, even the fact that the equinox was yesterday, which wasn't true. The equinox wasn't even yesterday. They were saying the equinox was somehow causing this broom to stand up.
Yeah, and that's not the case. You can see one of the pictures of these brooms. It would just stand up on its own. And the fact of the matter of fact is, they stand up all times of year. I woke up this morning, stood one up for my roommate Michael, who believed that the tilt of the Earth was causing these brooms to stand up, and he was severely disappointed to find it was still standing up this morning.
Yeah, I know it's definitely a viral sensation around here. I know we have a group chat, and it was going wild yesterday, sending pictures of the broom standing up, but we woke up this morning, broom was still there. Broom's still standing this afternoon. Broom was probably standing somewhere the day before. Who knows? I mean, I can do it tonight, tomorrow, it'll still be there. So all you have to do is find where that center of balance is. It's not magic, people.
No, well, the thing is, most people think that you wouldn't be able to stand up a broom. It's kind of a thin object. How would it stand up? And they don't think to try it, so they tried it yesterday and go, wow, this magical thing happened. It must be because someone said so, and that's not the case.
And, I mean, it does come like a little bit of a surprise because at least the brooms we have and a lot of the ones I've been seeing in the pictures, they sort of have a tilt to it whenever you stand it up. So you have it flat, and then you see the rod part sort of tilting. So it's a little surprising that you can find that center of balance and make it stand, but definitely just a myth. And nothing reports from NASA. I don't know where Twitter got that from, but I actually checked, and I did not see anything released from NASA saying anything about this. So
I mean, maybe it was aliens, Zach. I don't know. It could have been aliens that were making your specific broom stand up and everyone who was falling for this hoax. People are laughing in the studio at our ridiculous segment we're doing right now.
But as for now, let's go ahead and send it off to the wall for our next segment with Zach.
Yeah, thanks, guys. You know, it's amazing where people on Twitter get things. Like, things just seem to randomly show up. But speaking of randomly showing up, we're going to play a little game today called Spot the Front. Can you see it? Right here in Atlanta, you're probably feeling it. 65 degrees. That front is about right overhead. Down here in Tallahassee, it's 73 right now. You're feeling that warm, juicy air coming up from the south. Up in Memphis, you're not feeling too juicy today, though, unless it's that rain coming from the sky. It's feeling more like winter time. You're having those raw conditions. You can kind of see that again here in Memphis. Your high is only, or your current temperature is only in the 40s. Dew point's right now 37, so it's pretty humid. But down here, Tallahassee, New Orleans, we got 71, 70 down there in Miami for your dew point. That's starting to get oppressive. You're really starting to feel that humidity outside. Once again, there's feel-like temperatures. Just to reiterate again, you can see the line, and back here behind me, all of that just cold, dry air over much of the continent that really is trying to experience a winter, unlike us here in Florida. Right now, the satellite and radar, the front, once again, really stands out. There are several of these low-pressure systems just along the front. We have those showers and thunderstorms of, especially here in the south. Going to be keeping those away from Tally for the most part tonight. However, parts of Mississippi, Alabama, going up into Tennessee there, you're going to start to feel that. A little bit closer in here, Atlanta, those showers are coming in towards you. Tallahassee, staying away from us for the most part. Yeah, as we go over here into other parts of Texarkana, over there towards Dallas, down towards Houston, that southerly flow, keeping those showers around. We have some frozen precipitation as we get up here towards Montana, like I said, southern parts of Canada. If you want winter here in the North American continent, this is where you're going to find it. Some of us are not quite skipping out on the winter season. Winnipeg, Bismarck, not too bad. Not too bad at all. As we going into the northeast, we have some scattered showers and such here across West Virginia, across parts of regular Virginia. We have Pennsylvania. A couple showers as we get farther up there, though, to the north. Zooming out the next 24 hours or so, you can see this low-pressure system, the next one that's going to impact our area, really start to develop and move into the Midwest and up towards the Northeast. We got that nice snow swath right up here as we get down for Chicago, over towards Louisville and D.C., maybe potentially, probably going to stay in the rain over there. Places like Columbus, though, looking up towards Detroit and such. Yeah. Keep an eye out. We're talking about you guys for maybe a potential snow event. Memphis, Atlanta, Birmingham, Tally, New Orleans. Guys, it's all rain. We know this story. We've seen this before. So overall, not too bad. Not too bad. Everything keep going on pretty well. For tonight's forecast, it's 52 in Atlanta, 62 in Tally. 23 up here in Chicago, though, you can really see where that front is and all of the cold air up here. It's 22 in Minneapolis. 4 degrees in Bismarck. You're a big winner for tonight's most winterly temperature. Over here towards California and places off towards the west, 19 in Denver, 23 in Albuquerque. Places you'd expect it to be cold. It's pretty chilly. LA, 50 degrees tonight. Tomorrow's forecast, 78 in New Orleans, 73 in Tally again. Bismarck, once again, our winner for our most winterly forecast. And now I'm going to pass things off to Chris with a look at our local tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Zach. Right now, I'm really happy that we aren't in Bismarck because I wouldn't be wanting to waking up to 10-degree temperatures tomorrow, well, as a high. But currently, right now, 73 degrees, got partly cloudy skies, winds coming from the south at 6 miles an hour. The big story for today is this frontal system. This has been bombarding Mississippi, Alabama with rainfall over the past few days, and it's been staying up here to the north. That's actually hasn't begun to move its way down into Florida. Right now at Tallahassee, you can see these clouds, maybe a few scattered showers passing by through the area, but overall it's been pretty cloudy. It hasn't been the most beautiful looking day, but it hasn't been a bad day at all in terms of weather. Overall, we are very warm right now, 73 degrees in Tallahassee, all the way up to 77 degrees in Bainbridge. I'm from the north currently, not a fan of these winter temperatures. I personally prefer cooler temperatures, and our dew points very high as well. It's going to cause these conditions to feel very muggy. It's not too pleasant to stay outside. You will be feeling the air as it feels fairly sticky. Over the next 24 hours, you're going to see more clouds come through the air, possibly a sprinkle or two up in the north by Thomasville and Bainbridge. As we start passing things on to 6 p.m. on Wednesday, once again, some scattered showers out to our west, but nothing too bad. Overall, for tonight's low temperature is going to be 61 degrees. You're going to have some patchy fog develop, so if you're going to be out tonight, be careful for that. But moving into tomorrow, it's going to be another warm day, 77 degrees. It's going to be quite breezy, so you might not want to wear a hat walking out the class because you might lose it as you're walking around campus. But our game day forecast, our baseball team, 6 p.m., it's going to be 57 degrees in Niagara. It's going to be quite a bit cooler for them. Currently, we're doing fantastic in baseball, so if you couldn't go up to Niagara to see the game, I would recommend watching them live on TV. But currently, right now, for our 7-day, we're going to be sticking warm. Friday, we're going to cool down quite a bit to 61 degrees. And our weekend is looking very clear. But for now, I'm going to pass things off to Jonathan with a look at his hometown in Alabama.
Yeah, so for today's Somewhere segment, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Sweet Home Alabama, where unfortunately the skies are not so blue right now. Alabama, you are dealing with this swath of rain that has just been persistent over the area over the past few days associated with this low pressure system and cold front. This has caused multiple flash flooding advisories, and there is currently a flash flood watch in effect, which you will see right here in that dark green outline area. Pretty much the entirety of the Ohio and Tennessee valleys are in this flash flood watch, and you'll notice these rain showers just keep training over this area, and that's not good for the long term. But for today's storm outlook, at least, there is not that great of a severe weather risk, but if you look in towards the next 24 hours, eventually a line of severe thunderstorms is going to develop over Tennessee and Mississippi, and you'll notice it's going to start to encroach on Muscle Shoals, where because of all the water they've gotten, you can say that they have the swampers right now. Tomorrow's storm outlook, You do have that risk of severe weather where Huntsville and most of Mississippi and Birmingham, you are all under this risk for severe weather. A slight is a Category 2 out of 5 risk. There is a risk of damaging winds, a few hailstones, and possibly a few isolated tornadoes in this zone. But we want to make sure that our viewers are not focused on the categories they are in, but rather the possible impacts of these storms. But moving on to a 3-day forecast for Huntsville, unfortunately, if you are going to be shopping at Bridge Street Town Center tomorrow, it is going to be rainy on Wednesday and Thursday, and this rain is just going to persist. But eventually by Friday, we should go back into the sun, which will allow things to eventually dry out. But notice that temperature difference from 52 to 26 overnight Thursday into Friday is a big change. And now I'm going to pass things off onto Zach Law to look at around Florida. Things in Florida aren't looking too much different than what they are in Alabama, except we are a little bit warmer. Seeing those cloudy conditions persist across the region, we can see Panama City Beach, very cloudy out there, can't even see the ocean from this view. But let's look at the big picture again. We do have that low pressure system that's sort of sitting over the southeast, and that's going to be bringing the rain over the next couple of days to most of our southeast regions, and that's what's bringing the cloud cover into Florida today. And we can really see all that grayness that's just hanging around, all that rain that's a little bit to the north of us, but rain won't be too much of a picture until Thursday for Florida. But right now, we're sitting at 73 degrees, cloudy skies in Tallahassee, and then much warmer over in Tampa and Orlando, seeing 80s, Tampa, Orlando, even West Palm Beach down there, 80s, cloudy conditions there, and it is February, folks, so 80s are definitely not the ideal temperature out there right now. But as for these dew points, we can see that the moisture is starting to get driven off the Gulf. So these dew points are starting to raise a little bit. 67 over here in Tallahassee, 70 in Pensacola, and then we have upper 60s along the Tampa coastline there. But as for the next 24 hours, we can see that frontal action sort of start to push through a little bit more towards the north, and we can sort of see a rotation of a high that's in the Atlantic that's sort of driving in some of this moisture as well, and all that cloud cover that's going to be covering most of Florida and cloudy conditions for the next several days. But as for tonight, 62 degrees is a low in Tallahassee. Tampa seeing cloudy skies. Fort Myers seeing cloudy skies. That's just the trend, folks, in Florida. Cloudy conditions tonight, 60s as your low temperatures waking up in the morning. But let's hop around and look at individual forecasts for our hotspots in big cities. So 80 degrees for Miami for most of the week. Wednesday, 83. Thursday and Friday, 84. So mid-80s. And it is February, so 80 degrees is something to talk about here. So cloudy conditions for the rest of the week in Miami. But let's hop over to the West Coast and Tampa. We're seeing a little bit of relief, 82 on Wednesday, Thursday 79, and then we do have that frontal system that's going to bring about a 6-degree relief, 73 as a high on Friday in Tampa. A little bit chances of rain there. Cloudy conditions are going to persist. But this is where it's going to get really hot in the central Florida. 87. So we're approaching almost 90s for February. 87 on Wednesday. Cloudy conditions. Cloudy conditions Thursday. And then maybe some rain on Friday lingering around from that front. And we're going to see much needed cool down for February from 87 to 71 going from Thursday to Friday. And then we're going to move up to Jacksonville, 80s there too, but we can really see that temperature decrease, 83 to 61 after that front moves through. And Jacksonville is going to be seeing a little bit more of those rainy skies on Thursday as a result of the front. And our last city we're going to visit, Pensacola, where we're seeing 73 as a high tomorrow, and then some stormy conditions. But as for now, let's send things off to Evan.
Thank you very much, Zach. And as we look into our local forecast, we can see really we've been mostly on average for today. Our high's been around 72 degrees, but our low, I think, a little bit warmer than usual, definitely up at 57. The tropical air is definitely staying very present within our area, much as the 16-degree difference between the lows of what we normally get compared to definitely today's weather. See, a lot of moisture is really covering the northern parts of the southeastern states. We really see the front is really ahead of the moisture in itself. The moisture really isn't a part of the actual cold front in itself. We can really see even Tallahassee is a lot more clear than we actually think compared to all the moisture up north. We might see a little bit of some tiny few scattered showers might reach their way, pop-up shower or two, into tonight and maybe into tomorrow. But besides that, we're seeing a lot of moisture coming up with the cloud cover We're not really seeing much of that moisture fall down, though, which is good news. Precipitation-wise for our area should be a nice cloudy day, if that's what you like. 73 degrees in our area right now. We're hitting even up to 76 in areas of Bainbridge, 72 over in Thomasville, and 75 in Valdosta. It's not going to be a fun run tonight, though. Those dew points way up there, 70 in Quincy. That's why we're going to be facing actually some chances of fog for areas of tonight, so be careful on the roads out tonight if you're doing that, or if you're running. Good luck with that moisture. It is going to be a little bit uncomfortable on your run there with these southerly winds that are coming up in through our area. Tallahassee at 6 miles per hour. Quincy is at 7, but you all see consistently that flow is coming up from the Gulf of Mexico up to our area. That's been keeping us very warm and having us a lot of cloud cover. See a little bit of a drop or two possibly coming in within the next 24 hours, but nothing too much to worry about. Maybe a rain jacket, a light rain jacket or something like that, but shouldn't be too bad for that. But the fog comes in tonight. We usually don't see many days with that, so keep aware of that tonight and be careful driving on those roads. 61 degrees should be a great temperature if you're heading out, going anywhere for that certain thing. But with that tropical air definitely coming up from the Gulf of Mexico, it still warms up our temperature to 77 degrees, so definitely going to be a shorts and t-shirt kind of day tomorrow with that southerly flow at 11 miles an hour. But after the front comes through later, around Thursday or Friday time frame, we're going to see about 58. Should be a good jacket weather heading into basketball in the Tuck Center on Saturday at noon. Should be a good game day for them there. But for now, we're going to be sticking up in temperatures in the 70s, up to 75 even on Thursday. And as we look into later our week, we're going to be getting down to temperatures at 37 degrees heading into areas of Friday night and into Saturday at 65 degrees now. But now we're going to be taking it off to the last desk segment of our show where we pose the question, what is their favorite outdoor activity to do during this perfect degree weather time, I guess, so to speak?
Yeah, thanks, Evan. Well, I mean, it's in the middle of the school week, so unfortunately I don't have that much time for recreational activities.
I have some, dynamics homework.
Yeah, atmospheric physics homework out on Landis or out on the bench outside. That's about what there is time for. Hopefully this weekend with the sun being out, get out to the park.
Get out to the basketball game.
Yeah, right, yeah. So absolutely. I don't know. Being a non-Florida resident, trying to figure out the weather patterns, it always seems like the winter-spring transition seems to happen around Valentine's Day. I can notice, it really seems like that's
Valentine's Day is this weekend,
right?
But luckily, that cold front will move in on Thursday. So if you do want to get dressed up cute and go out on Valentine's Day, the weather should be looking much better.
Absolutely. So will this be winter's last stand in Tallahassee?
I don't think we can rule it out just yet.
Yeah.
Mother Nature's bound to throw us a curveball at some point. You will notice that the low from Friday night into Saturday night will be 37.
Yeah, it's pretty chilly. We rebound very quickly, though. Monday, like you said, 73 degrees. Tuesday, 75. Those clouds are increasing, but man, I just love a nice sunny and 75-degree day.
It seems like we keep getting these cold fronts on Thursdays.
I know.
For the past few weeks. I mean, last week I got asked, is this going to be the last cold front we have for a while? And I said, probably not.
Probably not.
And then here we have another one coming in on Thursday, although this one is much weaker than the one we had last week.
Yeah, true. And that severe weather threat is still there. It's probably not going to make its way so much into Tallahassee proper this time around.
It's much lower than it was last week. But go ahead and follow us on Twitter at FSU Weather.
Yeah, and make sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/FSU Weather.
And then you can also, we hope you're watching us live on YouTube right now at FSU Weather.
And, of course, follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather. Send us those cool weather pictures from wherever you're watching tonight.
Yes, so especially those sunset pictures. We love those sunset pictures. We always start our show off with the live shot over Doak Campbell with the sunset. But
absolutely. But from all of us here at FSU Weather, live in Tallahassee, Florida, I'm student meteorologist Zach Richards.
And I'm student meteorologist Jonathan Marcus. Have a great evening.
Thank you, and keep it classy, Tallahassee.